Right. Oh my gosh. Why? Why? There we go. Ha. Yeah, there really is a mouse in here. Anyway, welcome to Gaming with a Side of Salt. I am Zio, and with me, as always, the guy above me is muted. That's what he is. He's muted. And also, we have Meg over here off to the side.
We do this every week, guys.
Absolutely every week, and he's still muted. You'd think he'd figure it out by now.
You would think wrong.
So how's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing pretty good. I actually finished Cat Quest 3. Got apparently the good ending. I didn't know that it was possible to get a bad ending in freaking Cat Quest, but there you go.
I didn't know there was a bad ending either.
Yeah, but the NPCs are telling me like, oh, you got the good ending, and I'm like, what? I got the good ending. There's a bad ending because the game is pretty self-aware. Yeah, but I guess it's
you
because
wonder now.
I know, right? Now I gotta know. Like, I want to see somebody else play the bad ending because I don't want to do that. But yeah, it's because I faced off against the Duck of Doom. I think that's why. I killed all of the
Duck of Doom.
Yeah, I killed Cthulhu. I faced off against the Duck of Doom and got all the bounties. Not on purpose. Well, the Duck of Doom was on purpose, but everything else, yeah. But anyway, so that's cool. Although now my chat has me playing Kena, which is a Souls-like game. And yeah, I mean, okay, so let me put it this way: the combat isn't that difficult. It's frankly my jam because I'm all about hitting things and running away. That is like what I do. I love dodging and rolling and everything. But the camera is from Satan. It is the worst camera mechanic of all time. And someone was like, "Oh no, that's how Souls games are. They do it on purpose." And I'm like, "Well, that's a terrible mechanic." They're like, "Well, they do it to add challenge." I'm like, "This is artificial." Yeah, this is an artificial difficulty, and it just makes it irritating.
And which game is this?
Kena. And the thing is that the game is
I don't know what game that is.
It's gorgeously rendered. It looks like a Pixar kind of game. It's very good looking. It's
okay.
It's whimsical. It's got these cute little things that follow you around. These little and they follow you around, and you get them. You buy them little hats. They do absolutely nothing, but they're aesthetically adorable. So I'm like, okay, so this is what we're working with. Also, let's put in some Souls-like mechanics and the worst camera ever. So I'm pissed off about the camera.
Oh no! Trust me. You've not experienced. Well, you might have. You're our age, so you might have actually experienced it. Have you ever played a game called Rascal for the PlayStation?
No, I haven't.
I guarantee you, whatever you're playing, camera-wise, is a masterpiece compared to that monstrosity.
Well, let me put it this way. This isn't the thing that makes me so angry about it is because of the fact that everything else in it is pretty darn good. The
disability is
the animation is good. I mean, it's not like it's not like the top tier or anything, but it's like low level pixel adjacent. It's adorable. It's cute. It's whimsical. The combat's it is what it is. It is pretty good. So, but the thing is that the camera is so garbage, and I'm like, this was fixed in Ocarina of Time in 1996, where like just at some point you can just hit a button and the camera at least snaps back to you. If you get all lost in the weeds and you're going all over the place, you can just snap the camera to being behind you, and that works. Okay, especially if you're doing something where you have to dodge roll all the time. Like, I'm constantly dodging, but I can't dodge that way because there's something in the way, and I can't dodge that way. I think there's somebody behind me, but I can't see.
It's
the dumbest, most aggravating thing. Anyway,
I'll put it this way: with Rascal, it's camera and control problems. The combination of hell. Zio, do me a favor. Can you pull up a clip of the PS1 game Rascal?
I'm sorry, what is it called?
Rascal. Rascal.
I don't even remember. I've never heard this. PS1?
See, Rascal sounds like it's on accident. Kena is on purpose. That's what makes me angry.
No. This was on purpose. They
did it on purpose? Why would they do that?
theory is they were trying to make the worst game ever.
Oh, well, I've never heard of this game.
Yeah, there's a reason. There is a reason. Just go midway. Don't matter. Just
listen. I have to hear that sound.
Fair enough.
Oh, beautiful.
Back in the day.
Beautiful.
Okay. Go ahead and
listen.
Right
the
there,
PlayStation 5 did it to me, and I was just like, oh.
Okay. It looks fine here, right? Now look here. Wait. Pause it. This is modded.
Modded?
Yeah. The camera's fixed in Rascal. It's isometric, fixed, and the controls are tank.
The camera's fixed. I like a good fixed camera.
Warum laufen da Rohre lang? Okay. Sind wir in Tumble?
Like, you don't control. I don't think you can control the camera.
Jetzt sind wir auf dem Bett.
And it's fixed in that it's like rotating?
Sehr schön.
Yeah, and here's the thing. The player controls are tank.
Ja, ich wollte eigentlich...
Kind of like, almost like, what do you call it?
Hier haben wir die Uhr aus Resident
Evil. Yeah, he just said it actually in a different language.
Braucht man schon Schlüssel. Weiß nicht, ob da unten eine Uhr abläuft. Intro hatte ich mir auch angeguckt.
Yeah, Spyro had an active and passive camera to where you could control it. Or
okay.
It's this game is all right. Well, I'm done. I'm done. This game I can't take much more. I got PTSD from this.
So
game.
I know. I was like, man, that's some drama right there.
And no, for anybody wondering, no, I will not play it on the channel. No, unless I get like $10,000 minimum.
All right, Chad, since you're the retro gaming channel and all that,
right, guys,
I think you should play Rascal.
The fuck, I
Sounds like we're sold on that.
$10,000 buy-in. Who wants to do the dono? Exactly.
You know what? That should be a banner or something on top of your thing. $2,000.
Two, and I'll play the first level. 10.
You said 2,000.
That's a 10.
Nobody's gonna do that for 10.
Exactly. That's the point.
All right, so let's get into the news, shall we?
I'll consider it.
I am here to share with you this 8-minute video. This 8-minute video right here is going to knock your socks off. Let me tell you, this upcoming game is going to be amazing by our friends over at Bungie. And it won't be Concord 2.0 or anything. I swear, it's good because they gave us Destiny, and he's gone.
Hell no.
He's back.
I know what this is. Hell no.
I know what this is too, and I'm angry.
Me too.
You know, the sad part is this bit of the trailer looks freaking amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, so the thing is that
these first 2 minutes is good.
They are technically very good. Their art direction, especially when it comes to landscapes and things like that, is fantastic. I mean, my husband still plays Destiny 1, and you look at the attention to detail, it's fantastic. These people love what they do. And then you have someone who's in charge of art direction who is a monster. Like, what is that? Well, that already, I was just kind of like, I don't think I like this. Like, why is
actually
hate neon colors and ugh.
Look at that.
I'm already angry.
What the heck?
That is horrible.
That is not
the rest of it is good until you see that shit. And it's like, yeah, you clearly have Concord devs on your team, don't you? Because I know they picked up some, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They should have put them back down.
They couldn't draw people then either.
That is horrible. That legit looks like when AI goes wrong, when it messes up, and
it does. It does look like AI messes up.
Here. I mean, art direction style aside, like the technical part of it is really lovely. It's well done. Well done.
The characters are. That's for damn sure.
And you're like, what's happening? It feels like an indie movie, honestly.
Right?
It does.
someone was really involved in getting this lore together, and then the story, the game that you're playing in and of itself is so bare bones, empty.
I don't think I've ever known how this is.
Characters look hideous. I'm sorry. This is
traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless ledge stones stand in the desert. Near them,
like the environment is great though.
Half sunk, a shattered visage.
Hard to tell when we got 80 different camera angles at any given scene.
Everything looks like it's all of these people look like they're made out of silicone.
Oh, they look like toys.
Yeah.
Okay? Every time I see them, I immediately think to you remember the game, Chad, with the Army Men?
Yeah, Army Men. That's what it was called, Army Men.
Yeah, back in the day. That was a fun game.
That was
great.
Amazing
You knew
game.
they were Army Men. These people remind me of them.
They're not meant to be.
I don't think they're meant to be because they're supposed to be like robots or something.
And the heart that fed.
But I'm like interested in the story. But
because
the characters are just so off base.
Yeah.
It makes me not interested in it.
Well, you see, like all of this realistic stuff, like
Can we please in?
everything except the characters.
It's like what it is, right? Like $1 trillion. Like $1 trillion.
Sakaguchi Genetics sent a reminder. Your shell repayment
Stuff that comes up from things.
charged against your line of credit.
Yeah, I know. Do you mind if we skip the formalities this time? Got a big contract waiting down there, so.
Understood. Let's proceed with your grounding exercise. Are you familiar with this item?
That's my lucky charm. Yeah, it's supposed to be my lucky charm.
I get what they're going for here, but
Well, you would think that for a game like this, it would be PvE.
wait, they're doing PvP.
Oh
This
yeah,
is all PvP.
so it is an extraction shooter. That
Right,
is like-
exactly. They're doing
Oh,
all
you
of
go
this.
in, and if I remember correctly, it's like you got like 10 minutes to get shit, and then everybody else shows up, and it's last man standing or last team standing,
Exactly. They
and
did
it will
all
be
of this.
PvE/PvP
No,
because they already said it could be bots.
no, it will
Not
be
just
dead. It will be dead.
people.
That's what it will be.
Yeah.
Um,
It
but,
doesn't. The thing is that it doesn't even look like something that you'd want to play, though.
Oh,
Let me-
but
let
it
me-
gets better, Chad. It's also going to have 3 levels, the small little cast to pick from, and it's going to probably cost you about $40 because it is a premium game, so it's not going to be free to play, but it's not going to be full price either. So it's going to cost about $40 Concord. And Concord, I think, had more in it.
Yeah,
Let me-
dude. Wait
let
till you see
me-
the gameplay because the gameplay
Okay.
is amazing looking.
Oh, let me. Hang on, pause.
Look at that. I mean, come on, man. This is technically so freaking well done. They have talent there, and they
Well, yeah,
wasted
but this is also
on-
just a cinematic. So.
Right.
and they
So-
wasted on so much stuff. No, Bungie has talented people in their company, but they're
Had.
not the ones making the calling the
Well, they
shots.
still do. I mean, the cinematic isn't bad.
Okay, hang on.
well,
One,
I would
Thing
say the
is,
direction and
the
the story
weird
is bad.
parts are the people because they give you that uncanny valley thing.
Yeah.
And they're just weird.
okay.
They're not like really, really bad, but they're not really good.
Well, the
They
thing
look
is that you're just kind of like-
plastic.
you're like, okay, so this was designed and created by these are people who I guess died, and their consciousness is uploaded and they're being reformed into these android creatures. Okay, why is the android creature giving them so much like makeup weirdness going on with the faces? Like they're I think Asmongold said it. They're over designed,
yeah.
and they really are. They're over designed in an ugly way, also, but they're over designed. It doesn't even feel like. I mean, you can be ugly, or you can be like this is like cyberpunk levels of like over complication to where this is what you would do if you're in a bored society where people are just so bored with life they keep adding things to themselves to make themselves feel more interesting and important. They are not interesting people because there's nothing real going on in their lives. They're this bored and nihilistic.
So 10 levels. All right. Now explain 10 levels.
Are you bringing up Concord stats?
And 8 multiplayer maps. That was Halo 1.
Oh. Oh yeah, this also has no single player.
Exactly. So they fell on all fronts right out the gate because Bungie made Halo 1. 10 single player levels. Amazing, by the way, cartographer. And they had 3, 6, 7, 8 single player maps.
Multiplayer,
sorry. Multiplayer maps and 10 single player. This fails right out the gate because they have less. By the way, I've said that about every fucking Halo game. They take 1 step forward and 8 steps back. They add 1 thing and then take away 5 things. That is Bungie's go-to. Eventually, they're just going to go, we made a game, we're filing for bankruptcy.
Can you identify her?
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it does seem the story seems pretty simple. They die, they keep dying, they keep being brought back and put in these shells, and they go and they die again and come back to these shells. We got it. That's the game.
Really?
And you know, the world seems like it'd be interesting.
I mean, the lore here.
If you were actually playing this story, there would be an audience for this.
Yeah.
But they're putting all of this into this deep lore for something that's going to be so simple and so borderline nihilistic. You know, you just kill other players. I mean, the game literally you're just running around, just shooting things, looking plastic, and like Temu Fortnite, and then you stab your other players to finish them off. And I'm just like, this is. It's ugly in concept too. On top of this very dystopian oddness, it's just.
And why do we got the fucking fish islands?
Yeah, I noticed that. Like half this video is done in like a fish islands, which makes it look even weirder. You know, it's like it doesn't need help with that.
And so, like, you see what happened just now, right? He was talking to the person that was with him. This person gets their face blown off by the other character, right?
Yeah.
There's no sadness about it or anything. I mean, you feel sad because you just saw camaraderie, and then the person is dead, and then you see this happen, and then like, and they're both of them kind of have this thing where they like to listen to those little things that you put behind your head, and you can hear like classical music. And now these characters are running away, and you're like, "Oh goodness, what's happening?" Because as humans, we want to actually feel for this, to relate to this in some way. They're fighting for their lives, and you're like, "Okay, like they clearly don't want to die." And so the thing is that what this is going to do, like if you take this part seriously,
doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, but if you take this part well, it does. If you think about it, like this is what the actual game is. You're literally one of these characters killing the other character constantly, over and over again. It's going to make you. This game is basically to make you feel bad about playing the game. It's just you're killing all of these characters who have stories and have lives and all of that stuff.
Yeah, what I'm saying doesn't make sense. Why even participate in this?
Exactly. It makes you not want to play. It makes you not want to play. But the thing is that I noticed that Bungie was kind of doing that earlier on. With another one of their things. Yeah, and so like this person, like he clearly got some sort of deep memory or something like that.
Are they just stealing the consciousness of the people and trying to put them together?
Nothing beside remains. Nothing beside remains.
No. Okay, so from what I can gather from this trailer, you die, you get put back into a new shell. This concept's been used before in sci-fi.
Ghost in the Shell, but good.
Well, I wasn't thinking that, but I was thinking of a different movie. But yeah. Anyway, essentially that.
There's a couple.
These are disposable shells. They kill you. Your consciousness is uploaded. What is it with like stacks or something? I can't think of what that one was called, but anyway, and then it gets re-downloaded into a new shell when you die. And you come back and you get into that chamber, and they're like, "Hey, do you remember this? Do you remember who this is?" You know, that sort of thing, and it's to make sure your memory is still there and you're good, because degradation over lifetimes of this happening is probably not the best.
But
or it
again,
will probably happen.
But it just makes you feel
what's
bad.
the fucking point?
Well, it doesn't make me feel bad. Honestly, I don't care about that aspect because I'm fine with it. I mean, heck, the story of like Fortnite is all these characters have been ripped from their universes and put into this one to literally fight it out over and over again, and they understand they're stuck there, and some of them are trying to get out, some of them enjoy it, and stuff like that. Like, that's the story of Fortnite.
But the thing is that with that story, though, they don't make a cinematic like this. With Fortnite, the trailers, all of the things to get you into playing it are basically just showing the playing, and everybody's having fun, and we're just shooting and we're running and we're doing all of this stuff, and it's goofy and silly and fun. This is not that. This is vibe. And this is supposed to be heavy and artsy, and you're supposed to feel things on a visceral level. The thing that I feel,
I feel things on a visceral level. I guarantee
I didn't
you
expect, or I don't feel anything on a visceral level, and I don't feel like it's supposed to. But if that's what they were going for, they failed horribly.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Zio. This trailer, they got the
you're supposed to feel
classical. You got the like Meg said, the camaraderie at the beginning, then boom, popped. Here's the thing that gets me, okay? Nobody's answered this yet. I've asked several times now. Why? And let me put this into perspective. In Halo, what was the reason? Because the Covenant attacked, we were retaliating, we were trying to protect humanity, then the flood happened, and then, oh my goodness, it was Cthulhu zombie apocalypse happening. There's a why. And by the way, I got that from the trailer of Halo.
We can get into the why here shortly, because there's a why. This is a sequel.
Yeah, I know.
To their original marathon game. So there's a story already here that they're building off of. Okay. But why they're taking it from what it was and making it into an extraction shooter, I'm not sure.
Okay, but
muscle wreck around the decay of
if we don't finish watching, we'll finish.
All right.
Stretch far.
I turned down the sound.
8-minute trailer?
Yeah, it's an 8-minute thing.
Jeez.
It's like, that looks beautiful.
That's what I'm saying. This is very artistic, and it is supposed to invoke emotions.
Yeah, it is. Now, it might not, but it's supposed to evoke, and this is supposed to be sad. This is supposed to be jarring. It's supposed to be visceral and kind of hit you like, oh.
And now he's back here.
Is that me?
And so this isn't fun. This doesn't feel like fun at all. It feels like someone who sniffed their own farts too hard.
Yeah. No, I'm with Meg on this. This is.
I'm sorry. Is that the name of all the developers?
Probably
or something, or a good.
Got to put that ego in there. Co-produced by Bungie. Yeah, this is.
This is the name of a bunch of the developers.
Join the Discord. Nope.
Do you have the gameplay trailer?
No, I didn't even know there was one out.
Yeah, there's a gameplay trailer that's out there. See if you can find it, because that'll show like the vibe shift between what this was that we just watched, which is supposed to get us into playing this game, and what the game itself actually looks like. And I was like,
I tell you, the character design is horrible. Like some of the worst I've ever seen.
It makes me angry that they would want me to play this game after showing me that trailer. If they just showed this the gameplay trailer, this one. Okay. If they just showed this, I'd be like, fine. I'd be like, all right, maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't because I'm not a first-person shooter.
It's just not a full trailer.
But see, you feel this is different, right? You get.
Yeah, this is night and day.
This is fun. This is hit. I'm awesome.
But Bungie knows how to do gunplay, and they know how to put skills and special abilities in with that gunplay.
Oh yeah, and their movement is fantastic.
I know no doubt that the gunplay is going to be tight.
Oh, cloaker.
Death. The end of all things. But the dream is not over. My dream. Yours. Now. Run.
Like, again, you kind of don't really want to participate in whatever this is if you have the option not to. It doesn't seem like anybody's having fun. You're not here for a greater goal. You're here to get quote-unquote glory, whatever that means.
If it wasn't for the fact that I don't really care for extraction shooters to begin with, this looks like a game I would totally have played.
Not me. Not me at all.
Absolutely not.
If it was not an extraction shooter and had different formats to it, I would totally play this.
Here's my problem. One, the whole game, I'm going to tell you this right now, this whole game looks ugly to me.
Yeah.
The bright visuals.
The neon,
You know what I liked about Halo? It was gritty. It had some realism to it. This just looks like a kid's toy set.
Well, it's a kid's toy set, but it's a kid's toy set from Nightmares, like when they're trying too hard. This is art house stuff. Like if you I went to art school.
This looks like a developer testing stage. What they're playing on right now.
I'm sorry, I don't think it is. I think this is the game.
Just by the color scheme alone, it looks like they're playing on the developer's test stage.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you this right now.
But
you do not
I'm not going to lie. If I had sold this first, and then they didn't tell me anything else about it, I would be very interested in it.
I'd be more interested in this one than the first
one. Of the very really weird people who loved the Shadow. What was it? What's that game that you like that you played on the Genesis, Chad?
Shadowrun?
Yeah, Shadowrunner game. That was multiplayer only. That came out, I think, on the 360. Absolutely
the Abomination,
loved the shit out of that game. But anyone who's a Shadowrunner fan absolutely hates that shit.
Yeah.
But I absolutely loved that game.
To be fair,
I had a lot of fun with that game.
So I can get that.
And I really liked the class that had the push because I abused the hell out of that thing. Anyway.
But what I'm looking at here, I think this is the game, Zio. Look how
it is.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, I think this is the stage. This is not a test thing.
This is one of the 3 stages. I guarantee it. I'm just saying it looks like a test stage.
I know. And they're in
everything.
They're in this the fail.
And it's got all those weird neons and stuff, which I guess works in a cyberpunk setting, but we're not really in a cyberpunk setting. We're like in a post-apocalyptic looking setting where the computer keeps sending people down to retrieve shit and forgot that humanity died 5,000 years ago.
But no, here's my question though. Again, where's the why in this? And the why is Bungie needed to make money, and they half-assed one of the games that would have been the most anticipated game they made.
You don't have to have a why.
If you listen to the voiceover, if you listen to the voiceover, it's saying that you're doing all of this stuff to enrich yourself. You're doing this to become. Let's see. If you just let it keep playing, there are going to be some words that pop up. It'll be like, victory will grant me wealth, money, power.
I mean, they're doing it for money. I mean, in the other trailer, she's like, I got a big contract down there.
Yeah, so wealth will make you
ask the question, who made the contract and for what? Because you're just down there collecting whatever.
That's what I'm saying,
and I don't think that's going to get answered,
or
what?
I don't think it's going to get answered because.
But I'll tell you why. The idea of a why doesn't even fucking matter. Do you want to know why? That doesn't matter. Why does it matter?
Sure,
Chad. Because people play Call of Duty for the multiplayer only. Nobody cares about why you're there. Nobody cares anything about that, as long as you're shooting a gun and running, jumping, and all that good stuff and having a good time doing it.
Cool. Let me ask
Nobody
you something.
cares about that. Call of Duty always launches with a story, and yes, there are a few people out there who enjoyed the story of Call of Duty, but the real fun has always been the multiplayer to it.
Yeah, if you say so.
Ever since they left the days of retelling stories from World War II and stuff like that, went to the modern age, it's only been multiplayer only. And that's the thing. Same thing with Halo 2.
There are so many
That's
good
why
stories
Halo Infinite is free to download the multiplayer, because people don't care about the Halo story because it was done and dusted like after the third or fourth game at this point.
I'll be honest with you, the Infinite story was not too bad.
But
I mean,
I think that the thing
but
is,
nobody's really cared that much except for the hardcore Halo fans at this point. So after 3, it was like done for most people, and everybody loves the multiplayer. So the why doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I think that Chad and I primarily are not FPS players, though.
No, that's the thing.
I had a whole phase of FPS play.
I played Quake. I played the shit out of Quake. I played the shit out of Unreal Tournament. Played the shit out of Halo, and then everything just went to shit. And for my most recent example,
yeah, there it goes. Escape will make me unstoppable, elite, daring, fearing God. It's just, and I mean, you look at the color scheme that you see in this is definitely the color scheme that they're going to be going with. It's going to be this very neon, very colorful, very Splatoon looking thing.
Oof.
Oh, that's a good word, Splatoon. Where is it?
I played Splatoon till
Marathon.
Got hacked all the hell.
Will make me God, yeah.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that wasn't like there's a feeling of I don't know. There's no fun. Like in Splatoon, they're having fun. They're running around. They're saying goofy things. They're not doing that in this. These people are taking this seriously. They think this is high art, and it's like, I mean, maybe I'm more in tune to the feelings because I'm a girl. I'm gonna take that, but
we'll let you have it.
But yeah, but like this feels ugly in every sense, not just in the aesthetic. Like the aesthetic, if they did this aesthetic in like, Tokyo 2027 or not 2027, like 3027,
maybe not with the green neons or something, maybe more with like red neons.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about if it's in a futuristic city that is thriving, this would make sense. This makes no sense in the middle of the desert and nowhere. And then you've got this weird mishmash of like this gorgeous scenery, the gorgeous landscapes and sceneries. And then you have this weird toyetic sort of stuff. Everything looks like it's made out of, like the characters all look like they're made out of this odd silicone. And they've got so much makeup on. It's weird. They've got these very impractical things on them. This is not to help you get your prime directive. Why is she wearing that stupid hat? It makes no sense. Why is she wearing the weird crossed out lipstick thing across her face? It doesn't make sense. These things don't make sense if you're like, this is designed by a computer for prime directive. This is something that's made for people who are bored in a nihilistic society that is dying, and they're just trying to make themselves interesting and feel something.
I am going to I'm looking up Halo Infinite dirt textures and shit.
Dirt textures? Why?
Because my God, there is no effort in the okay. I'm going to point this out. everybody's saying, "Oh, this looks pretty good." It looks like dog shit. It looks like they didn't even finish the fucking game. I can go load up Halo Infinite right now and see the most detailed ground, rocks, walls. This looks like they just slapped on a half-ass texture and then said, "We're done."
But the thing is that was on purpose. You can see through that. There was one shot that he had. You can see all of the articulations in an elbow, all of the little pieces in an elbow through some of that. Like right here, it looks like it's unfinished. But that is the aesthetic. Like you saw what they did with the backgrounds, with all of that stuff. It's not that they don't have the time or the energy to do it.
They don't have
this
to.
was a choice. They decided.
Not just that, but I just thought about it. They don't have to. It's the Nintendo mentality. You'll buy it anyway.
I don't know. I think that they think this is actually good. I think they think this. I think somebody thinks this looks good. Like you see, even the thing where like this kind of thing and
no, I'm not. See, here's
sort of thing right here. This is art house nonsense.
Yeah,
this
but
is a choice. People can draw, but they chose to draw ugly things or weird things.
They chose to draw weird things. Yes.
If you go to modern art places, those people.
That's it. It looks like a modern art project.
This is a banana duct tape to a wall.
Yeah, and it's by someone who actually could do better. Like you can see that they can do better. Look at the sky. That sky is interesting.
No, it's not. It's bland. There's no
sky.
hard,
all of it's got this subtle little thing going on here. It's got these rays going on here. It's got
there are clouds over here. What looks like a planet or moon off into the distance there.
I thought that was
the haze.
I thought that was the reflection from the gun shot.
They pay so much attention to the stupidest level of detail.
But
that's why I'm mad at this. I'm mad at them because they could do better and they didn't. They chose not to.
Now, you've got water reflection going on here. Decent shadows going on. I mean, heck, that gun charging up and doing its shots pretty decent too.
Yeah, but look at the design of the gun. The gun itself looks like crap.
The gun is awful looking.
That's what I'm saying.
It looks really blocky.
You could have some great effects.
But I mean, the thing is that even if they could have just done reskins on guns that already exist, they could have done a whole lot of stuff. They chose to make this. Somebody made this on purpose. It's not for lack of ability or vision. They chose to draw ugly stuff. They were like, no, we've done the thing where everything looks good. Now we're in our brutalist period, and they're just these are posers and faux artists who are trying to find some sort of depth and making things that are ugly because if it looks good, it's too easy or something.
In the end,
I'm so mad at these artsy fartsy people who destroy actual art. They make me angry.
Okay, in the end, I'm going to say this is not for me because I'm not into the extraction shooter. Cool. As far as extraction shooters go, do you know? I think the longest an extraction shooter has lasted is maybe 6 months, a couple years tops, give or take.
I don't know
the extraction shooter genre. I know several because a lot of them are done in the indie dev scene, and I'm going to be 100. They don't last. So this was not well thought out as far as just the concept in general, and then you make it look like a Lego set. As far as the coloration,
bro, I like Lego better.
Shooter games.
Well, I do too. Actually,
if they've made this a Lego game, I would actually
Escape
be for
from
it.
Tarkov. That's one, and that one seems to be decently popular. Hunt Showdown, Dark and Darker.
Well,
Delta Force, Arena.
You got Escape from Tarkov is like the only one that survived. Majority of them are dead.
Incursion, Red River, and then of course Marathon. I think that's it in the extraction shooter genre.
Yeah, but of those, Tarkov's the only one has any.
Tarkov is the only one that has any real steam, and it just wasn't my cup of tea.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't play it. The others I never heard of.
You only got one game that is kind of successful, and honestly, even then, Tarkov is niche in the grand scheme of gaming. Sorry to everybody who likes Tarkov, but Hell, most of my stuff is niche too, so don't feel bad.
I just like, who does this aesthetically appeal to?
The developers.
Yeah, I mean, of people who actually have money and would buy this.
Damn.
Of gamers. Of
Just call the developers out like that. People who have money.
Of the people they clearly hate.
Yeah.
That they don't like, because the thing is that it's like they're trying to do something new and different because they think that normal beauty is boring. They think that normal things that are good and are common, like not common, but are the ideals that we hold for aesthetics are boring. And so they're like, yeah, let's make this really thin, kind of androgynous dude who's wearing lipstick for no reason and has black pupils. And we'll make this girl who looks like she's like a 12-year-old lolly. But she's got like an attitude, so it's okay.
What is Escape from Tarkov even played on?
PC.
Huh?
Tarkov's on PC, and I think Xbox. So let me give you an example. Hang on. It feels like this. I'm going to be with Meg on this. It feels like this is no fun. It has no fun. It was no fun to make. But you want me to show you something that was fun to make?
What?
It's in the private chat. Zio can bring it up when he gets a chance.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what
was fun. Dang it!
This game is actually on.
And the thing is that okay, so
I went looking for Steam numbers and there didn't come up anything.
I'm pretty sure Tarkov was on PC.
So the funny thing about Bungie, though, so the reason that I'm so angry is also because this is such a fall from grace for Bungie. So I am not a first-person shooter person. I'm the person who, when I play these games, I'm staring at either the sky or the ground almost the entire time. I'm confused. I'm running around. I'm freaking out because someone's shooting me and I can't find them. It's all bad. Bungie, when my husband was would show me, he would get very excited. He'd be like, "Oh, Destiny came out they're coming out with a new expansion," or whatever the heck they were doing. And he would show me the trailers, and I'd be like, "I want to play this game." And I was like, it makes me want to play this game until I remember this is a first person shooter and I suck. But like those trailers would make me so hyped to play a game that I had no interest in playing. I was like, this game is it's just not for me because there's, I don't care. The story doesn't seem that compelling. But you know what? The story actually was kind of compelling. They had characters that were good until they killed off Cade, and I don't want to talk about it.
Well, here's the thing. Also,
but whatever. Huh?
Also, what I posted for Zio when he gets a chance will show the contrast of the development from what I posted to Marathon.
All right, so this is Tarkov's numbers. This is the only thing I could find that listed any numbers for them. So it's pretty dang good.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it ain't. I'm saying if a genre is successful, it will have several successes.
From what I hear, it's the juggernaut in its field. So
yeah.
All right, and then the thing you wanted me to play. This is Halo.
Yes.
That walk is janky.
All right, all you greenhorns, listen up. My name is Sergeant Johnson. When you are not in my presence, you can call me anything your degenerate hearts desire, assuming your tiny brains can string together a couple of cuss words. But while I'm here, you will address me as, "Sir, yes, sir. Do I make myself clear?" I said, do I make myself clear?
Dirt.
That's better. My superiors asked me to deliver the
This sounds like he's having fun.
launch party.
Yeah.
They also informed me that the Bungie fans I would be addressing are the hardest of the hardcore. Apparently, I was misinformed.
Who animated this? I love them forever.
I was expecting a room
Bungie.
full of badass.
Bungie.
Some of you look like
Who
you
did
have a
this?
hard time
Or is this
pulling on
something
your
else?
own diapers. Let alone
No, this is the original Halo voice outtake, so it might have been.
Man, this is very blocky.
Bungie's website.
They use exactly 12 polygons on this guy.
Oh yeah, this was the original Xbox, though.
Get
So
out of here!
Bungie, most developers back in the day had fun with their shit too.
This
So
is the enemy.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that they didn't enjoy it, but it's kind of like someone who enjoys cutting their arm open kind of thing for this
I'm
new
sure the people who made
marathon thing.
this absolutely enjoyed it. They enjoyed making it. They think it's fantastic.
They think it's art.
Beautiful. It's art.
Yes, they think it's art, and so I don't know if you know like new age artists, but they don't enjoy things the way we enjoy things. Like if you smiled and laughed, that's pedestrian, darling. It's it's just, I swear, it's like there's beauty and joy in suffering or something. Like they feel deep and better about themselves.
Okay, so here's the thing. They did not make a video game.
No.
They made art, and the video game aspect was an afterthought. That's what it feels like with Marathon. With Halo, that was art. But first things first, it's a video game.
Yeah. Halo is a video game that also was art. This is basically art that is slapped onto a video, that is shoehorned into a video game.
So, Halo, I always heard about Halo getting its inspiration, or they got the idea for Halo because of Marathon, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't continue it for whatever reason. But I've never actually looked up Marathon. I don't know what their story is. But apparently it's a first-person shooter game that takes place several centuries into the future in outer space and sets the player as a security officer, Spartan, attempting to stop an alien invasion, the Covenant, aboard a colony ship on Earth.
Did you ready to call for
Marathon? So I mean, there's striking parallels there.
Well, yeah, because Marathon I think was a commercial failure, but I think.
Well, it came out for the Apple Macintosh, which was not exactly a popular PC, I don't think, at the time.
No.
In 1994, because I'm pretty sure Microsoft was overtaking everything at that point.
Yeah. And they jumped ship to Microsoft, and that's how they got,
Let's see, Marathon is the first game in the series of 3 games. Oh, so there was 3 of them. Marathon 2 and Marathon Infinity.
Yeah, Infinity tanked. I remember that.
This game was released in 1996. Included more levels than its predecessor. Huh. But yeah, what Halo did was it took what the PC was doing and brought it to the console, which is why it became as big as it was, because at the time, PC wasn't that big.
Yeah.
Because, I remember when people were like, oh my god, dual-wielding SMGs and stuff, like, this is the best thing ever, it's never been done, all this other stuff, and it's like, we have PC games that have done that, guys. Yeah. We've had stuff already.
Well, no, I think the dual-wielding aspect was originally a Halo thing, I think. I'm trying to think of anything before Halo that had it. I can't think of anything as far as like first-person shooters.
I don't understand why they're trying to make an extraction shooter out of something that clearly had a story, and they're trying to tie the story into it.
It feels all
sure why they would turn it into an extraction shooter.
Because they got a good story.
Well, the thing is, I don't know, but the thing is that like the characters in the world feel sad and empty. You know, like that's why when they keep picking up the speaker and putting it behind their ear to listen to the classical music, that seems like the only time they feel something, you know?
Yeah,
it makes
and that's not fun.
It's not. They're not having fun. Why should I play as these characters who seem so sad? and the thing is that it's not like it's going to get better. There's no story that you can follow that makes this better ever. It will never get better. These characters will stay this way the entire time.
Well, that's why it's the Concord 2.0. It's weird looking people that you're going to play as, and it's an extraction shooter. It's going to be like $40, and it's going to have less in it than Concord did.
I'm going to have $40
Concord
extra.
had more than 3 maps.
I'm not buying it.
Dude, Concord looks better than this. I'm gonna just say it.
But
that's sad, but you're right.
Let's continue because it's almost been an hour and we've just been talking about the art of this damn thing.
I'm sorry, you asked, and you have a girl who majored in art. I'm sorry,
so
it's gonna happen.
Move on a little bit, but Marathon won't have proximity chat because it's way too toxic. I don't think anyone has a good solution to that just yet. Now, I'm going to say something I said years ago. Okay, so we're going to go back to younger Z real quick, who when this first kind of thing started cropping up. Remember when Blizzard and everybody was suddenly monitoring their chat in League of Legends and all that good stuff, and they're like, we're going to start monitoring the voice chats, and we're going to start monitoring the written chats, and you better behave yourself. We're going to go after hate speech and all that other stuff. Back then, I said the only true solution to that is to just disable chat altogether. And we have finally come to that conclusion years later, that the only good solution to prevent that is to just not have it in your game, which is fine by me because for the most part, I don't use the in-game chat functions anymore, except for unless it's an MMO. That's about it for the most part, and even then, it's sparingly, right? You know, anytime we play a game, unless it's a game that really requires you to use proximity chat for a reason, like say Repo or Phasmo or something like that, we're in another thing using chat because we have just decided that in-game chat is not worth doing anymore.
Not really. And that's why I don't have a problem with this, because if I want to chat, I want to chat with my teammates and my cohorts. I don't want to hear the 10-year-olds whose balls haven't dropped yet yelling at me from across the battlefield because I sniped them.
The problem is, if they had just not had any, it didn't give this reason of, you know, essentially like, because it's toxic and modern audience, you know, we have been programmed at this point to see these patterns. And when developers start saying shit like that, we're already, all right, that's an L game. We're not going to touch that. We don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, well,
so you they could have come up with a better reason at least that didn't make everybody go, okay, modern audience type shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that, again, you're just sitting here. This is just another thing that kind of clarifies that they don't like gamers. They just don't. Now, I will say, gamers, y'all are, you know, y'all are rough, especially first-person shooter gamers. Those are the roughest bros ever. Like, if you play like RPGs or something like that, primarily, yeah, you might be like, you know, I'm not gonna say soft, but you'll be like. You might cry in a Halo lobby the first time. Well, not in a Battlefield
you definitely would.
lobby the first time.
Back in the day, I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day, we had Halo parties. We didn't talk shit online. We talked shit between the matches to each other's face.
Well, that too, but back then it also wasn't getting you bopped out of existence.
Yeah.
when you did it. And that was, of course, before things like Skype and TeamSpeak, really, and stuff like that, and the ability to essentially be able to do it anywhere. Like, you know, you got your phone, you have access to an alternative version to talk with 50 people at once if you wanted to. You know, back then that was not the case, of course.
So
back then, something like lobby chat and team chat on the voice airways was a revolutionary thing. But now I think we've gotten to the point as a society that chat's not necessary anymore.
Not really.
I mean, the only time it's really necessary is when you're doing a pug, right? Because then you absolutely do, which I remember people was complaining about in which game was it we played? Which game didn't have any chat whatsoever and people complained about it because there was no chat, but nobody had like a complete team either.
I don't know.
That's a lot. Was it? It was a horror game.
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight? Was it Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, Dead by Daylight had no chat mid-game.
Yeah, mid game, and people were complaining about it, and the developers were like, "No, we can't trust you to have chat." And I was like, "I get that they
Yeah.
don't want to, because if they do that, then you're going to have activist groups on their doorstep screaming, 'You need to moderate this,' and they don't have the people or the tech to properly moderate that game, and it
Or
blew up so much into this explosion of a player base that there was just no feasible way for them to monitor it. They could make it happen, but then they would have activist groups on their doorstep trying to burn them down because they wouldn't be able to
Okay.
take enough precautions to protect everybody's fifis.
I have a solution. I have a solution for this. Where they could have the chat. So here's what you do. Okay?
Okay.
When those activists come after you,
Why are you gay? You are gay.
Yeah, well, they're not going to do that. They're the activist type 2, so that's the other problem. I think they already knew it, and that's why they decided not to.
they knew that their own would eat them.
Oh yeah,
We've got this momification of these games. You're like,
Yeah.
don't say that, Timmy. I mean, there's a reason that you kind of tend to play like not with mom in the room, because she'd tell you to be nicer to your friends when actually this is the way that you guys bond.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is that, like, I don't care because I typically don't play games with the sound on. I just don't, because I don't need to. I'm doing other stuff with my ears, but the reason that they didn't have it is what is, just another glaring it's just another glaring flag to me. Along with the whole artsy fartsy feel, along with the ugly characters, along with the androgynous looking people that no normal gamer bro wants to play as. And then they're like, "Yeah, we can't deal with toxicity." Yeah, that's because you don't like gamers. You just don't. You don't
we
like.
can
You want.
tell
You're
by
trying to.
that by your character design that you can't deal with toxicity.
What kills me is, how are these people failing and still getting work?
Through the interview process and being able to talk their way into it.
There's no way. No shot. No, somebody is paying somebody a kickback. I refuse to believe that they got 100 in charisma to the point where they can just go, "I fucked up everything I've been on. Give me money."
Because most of these people have anxiety just thinking about what lunch is going to have. Like, these are the same kinds of people who are like, I can't make phone calls because it gives me such bad anxiety. Why can't everyone just do it through text or online? Why do I have to talk to somebody? So they definitely don't have the charisma factor.
Well, that's
They're
what I'm trying to
checking off
figure
all
out.
the right boxes.
Well,
is what they're doing.
Which at that point, somebody needs to look into that, because that sounds like some bias in hiring.
Well, yeah, of course there's bias in hiring. There's always bias in hiring, and there should be bias in hiring. It's just the bias should be towards competence and not towards a person who believes in the same political ideals that I do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's biasy. It's not bias if it's meritocracy. That's different. But anyway, we're gonna cop in the weeds here.
It's bias towards competent. My bias is that I only hire competent people. And people who I know won't sit there and like raise hell if somebody makes an off-color joke, like that's a bias too. I don't want a Karen at my company. I wouldn't hire someone who seems to who would like throw off the vibe and like be
awkward. Yeah, that was schedule 1. Never mind. You said make an off-color joke, and I was like, who was it who they just tried to flame?
Schedule 1.
Oh yeah, yep. Schedule 1.
I think they need to make more achievements like that.
You, how dare you?
I think they need to make more achievements like that.
I mean, quite frankly, if I ever
somehow
was able to produce a game, which I don't have the talent to do, I would do that if somebody got upset. Like, I legit, if somebody was like, "Hey, we love your game and all, but this achievement seems kind of racist and should be renamed because it causes negative stereotypes about whatever, right? My solution to that would be like, you're absolutely right. I am so sorry that I made that achievement. It is so racist. I should have given it 3 more companion achievements, which are hidden, by the way, so you guys have to go out there and figure out how to obtain them. And I guarantee they're going to be just as racist.
Oh yeah, well,
the thing is that's gamer mentality though, right there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it harder because I
Yeah,
know
we'll
that
do
it
it harder
pisses you off
next
and makes you
time.
mad.
Right.
If you thought that was bad, wait till you see this next one.
Well, what's funny is,
Three
see, I know
girls,
what we
one
talked.
cup. What?
But I legit thought about 3 more achievements they could add that are equally as horrible.
Never mind. I just thought of a few. Anyway, so we're gonna move on.
We're gonna move on before you get into another class.
I don't need a glass. I don't need another class.
Oh, wait. You didn't see... So did you see the Concord dev who tried to come to the defense of Marathon?
Oh, yeah. It just wasn't in the thing. And I just thought about it, but I can't remember where it is or anything.
Yeah, all right. Well, the TLDR for...
And I can't remember if we brought it up last week or not.
Oh,
no, we didn't. This is new stuff.
Yeah, it's new stuff. So.
But I mean, the guy was I can just sum it up for the viewers. Basically, the guy is saying, I worked on Concord, and I'm going to weigh in on this whole marathon thing, and it makes me sad that people are comparing it to the second Concord, and it made us sad that the game failed. You have no idea how much it hurt to see something that you spent all this time on fail, and you shouldn't punish Marathon because of Concord. And I'm like,
no, we're punishing it because it's Marathon.
There it is. Basically, and he's like, and remember, these are all people who made this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, people are flaming this not because of people. They're flaming it because it looks like crap. This is that whole whiny crybaby kind of stuff. It's trying to stir up that toxic
emotionally manipulate you.
Yeah.
Anyway, being Concord 2.0 on Reddit, YouTube, Twitch, just wanted a little insight, blah, blah, blah. For the past 17 years, I have been part of some great projects, and I worked on some of the most talented people.
Exit out unless you name them, man.
Okay. Yeah, because all I know is you are a failed Concord dev at this point, and I don't know anything else you've done. So,
unless you got your IMDb.
Many players know about Concord and what happened with the project. Concord failed to inspire players, and the message was heard loud and clear.
Why did it fail? Why did it fail, dude?
And be the laughing stock of many online. Like, it's funny because they like to dance around the elephant in the room, right? It's like, Concord failed to inspire players. Did it? Did it really? Was there, or was there other reasons as to why people wasn't interested in Concord? Because let's take a look at it here for a second. You threw things out there. People gave their feedback for it. You ignored that feedback. You continued the course. You launched your beta test, which required people to pay into, by the way, right? Unless you gave it to them for free. Then you did your open beta, and it came out with similar numbers on Steam. So that was about 4,000. Right? And then the game officially launched, and it got less than 1K on Steam alone at one time. So somewhere in between your beta, your open beta, which probably had all the same players from the closed beta only in it for the most part, with maybe a few extras, was so bad that all those beta players just never came back for the actual release. And people told you repeatedly the entire time before your beta released, the first one, what the problems were. And you still didn't fix it.
Does everybody see that he answered his...
inspired players.
Did everybody sees the problem with this post, right? I'm not the only one that sees...
We'll get to it.
No.
We go through it already?
We already went through it.
Oh, okay.
Did he, at any point in this post, from what you've read to past, honestly, say entertain?
No, like I said,
the goal was not to make an entertaining product. It was
they
to
failed to inspire players.
right there. That was the mistake.
They failed to entertain players too. So
well, no. That's my point. They at no point. So I'm sorry to this guy specifically. Fuck you.
anyway,
Yeah,
because
they use this kind of
I want to point this out.
lexicon.
If your goal is the messaging and to inspire, you need to get the fuck out of game development.
Oh, well, I found your word. I found your word.
Oh, look, it does say entertain.
Hoping
it will entertain the masses of
failure.
gamers across the globe.
Yeah, I learned failure. I was driven, is what driven me to success. No one feels as bad as
it says what drives me to succeed.
Okay. Yeah, I have learned that failure is what drives me to succeed.
But he hasn't succeeded at anything.
No one feels as bad as the players who put their time on the line, hoping it will entertain the masses of gamers across the globe, which it did fail to do. I am not asking for pity.
I still am like, that was an afterthought.
Yeah, I am not asking for pity or even sympathy.
You ain't going to get it.
After all, this is the name of the game. You win or lose. The margin for success is very thin.
No, it's
not. Took a chance and lost.
People
screamed at you practically the entire time for months that you were on the wrong course, and you still drove off the fucking cliff with it.
Because you know what they did? They basically told themselves, oh, this is just the toxic, crazy people online. That's what they kept telling themselves. They kept telling themselves that this is toxic, crazy people they didn't need to listen to.
It was toxic gamers. It was the minority of gamers. It wasn't really
Sifu.
People. Hey, Sifu, a long time no see.
I like that.
Can't wait to not play.
You cannot wait to not play Marathon.
Qué feo, isn't it?
Right.
Well, don't worry. Depending on how well it launches, I guess it may go offline in 2 weeks. We'll see if it goes for the speedrunning the speedrunning title from Concord or not.
This guy pissed me off because, again, the whole entertainment thing. Okay, I will admit I didn't see that, so I was like, he doesn't say it, but he says it as a afterthought, which still to me says, honestly, I don't believe him when he said he made it to entertain. I think they made it to inspire.
And now here is the emotional manipulation part of the post, right? I hope you don't and see the people creating these projects work very hard to be the next big thing. Seeing the faces of the developers of the Bungie stream gave me hope and excitement for what is to come. Nobody cares about the developers. Like, when will you people learn? Nobody gives a fuck who you are. Unless your name is fucking Kojima or on the level of Kojima, nobody gives a flying fuck about the developers. They really don't. They want an entertaining game, right? And if your game is good enough, people will seek out your name and figure out who the fuck you were. But chances are, unless you're a Kojima or on the level of Kojima, which are very few people, nobody's gonna really know. And the fact that you had to stick all your names at the end of that trailer, and I had to turn my head sideways and go, are they listing names of the developers? And then it dawned, they're listing the names of the developers. It's like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to see that shit. I'm sorry, that is the God's honest hard truth. Nobody fucking cares about you.
There's a shoehorn effect to this, though. If you're on the level of Kojima, you'll be seeked out because you did a great job. Conversely, if you're just so dog shit bad at your job, Sweet Baby Inc.
Melissa McContaine.
Yeah.
We'll also know your name and laugh about it.
Exactly. So there's like a shoehorn effect where, like, if you're this bad or this good.
Yeah.
Because if you're that bad, we want to know who you are so we can avoid everything you touch.
Oh, and while we're still avoiding the elephant in the room, I worked hard on Concord and did my best. We came up short. No fucking shit. And the thing, people told you what the problem was.
But read the rest of that sentence. Read the rest of that. Read what his plea is.
Please don't punish others for our mistakes.
No,
the crap that he talking about.
Beings who are trying to create something special, and Marathon is no different. be kind and be cool as video gamers are meant to have. As video games are meant to have fun.
To be fun.
I swear that this appeal to your emotions is such garbage here. Nobody is punishing or laughing at Marathon because of Concord. We are noticing the similarities and going, "Oh, this is probably going to be like Concord." If Concord didn't exist, we'd still
Right,
say
Sifu?
Marathon looks like hot garbage. It has nothing. Why are you sniffing your fart that hard? We don't care about you except as a reference for how ugly something is. That's so garbage.
Hey,
Don't
Zio.
punish them because of us.
Okay, hang on, Zio.
Yes.
Can you move the text in the corner? Like,
Oh.
can you adjust where that's displayed?
Nope. Boop.
Damn.
I can make it go away though.
You had it show up at the
Sorry,
top. I thought.
Sifu.
No, because here, no, put it back up.
Okay.
Yeah, I concur with
'Cause-
Sifu.
See, it's bugging me that it's cutting into the banner top.
Yeah, I know. I was noticing it too, and I was like, I wish I could move that, but it doesn't give me the option to really move it anywhere.
If you want, do you use OBS or is it you just do
Chad,
straight studio?
You know the answer to this.
I don't actually.
I only use the Rumble Studio
Okay.
unless I've got a game up. Then we talked about how to make an ingress and do it that way. If that was the case, there wouldn't be an issue. However, then I have to make like 3 different camera things. Then I have to go in and edit all that shit every single time. And I don't have a team for that. I don't have the time or the patience for that.
I've set it all up.
But
so
yeah, I
just gotta
agree with
copy and paste
Sifu.
2 things. Yeah, I agree with Sifu too. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
because here's the thing. My introduction to
No
Bungie
shit,
was
you
Halo
read it.
1. I didn't ever play the Marathon series. When they said they were going to make a new Marathon, I was kind of excited because I knew that Marathon inspired Halo. So I was like, oh, cool. Then I saw this. I was like, oh, this is ass.
Yeah, and the thing is that it could be good. It could have been good. Like you see how much talent these people have, and then you see what they squandered it on, and
We
it just
literally spent over an hour on this.
Yes, we did.
We should move on.
okay, fine.
Sorry, Meg.
Finish your thought, Meg.
It's fine. We should move on because I'm just
Okay.
gonna rage and keep saying the same thing.
All right. Well, did you know that there was a gender pay gap in the industry? The gaming industry websites are starting to push the gender pay gap myth in streaming of all things. Streaming is a pure market competition, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, influencers report highlights gender pay gap in sponsored content earnings. Women earning roughly 32% less than men in the gaming sector, according to the report.
Bullshit. I call bullshit. Absolutely
So
bullshit.
yeah, we really are recycling
I know,
2016
right?
at this point.
I'm pressing exit out.
I'm pressing exit out.
We really are, because we're talking about female streamers. Some of the most prominent ones, a lot of them have OF accounts, right?
Yeah. And you're going to say that men are making more than that.
They do things like the chair meta and stuff like that, where they've got the see-through chair and then the camera on their ass underneath them.
Yeah,
these people make a lot of money, but also a lot of them don't play video games.
But see, they're talking about
some of them do.
sponsored content. So the thing is that actually may be true for sponsored content because of the fact that most of these gals don't put out like necessarily quality content in the wholesome game sense. They put out quality content if you're looking for a cavern. And then they get a lot of super chats and things like that. So they earn more money, but they don't get more. They don't get like, I don't know, meta PCs being like, sign me up for that gal.
Yeah,
so
they're not doing
they make more
sponsored
money.
ads because their streams are not rated to do sponsor ads for the most part.
Yeah. You know what'd be hilarious though? You see
sponsors
Ray
look
Shadow
at,
Legends on some girl's bikini.
You know, Meta PC or whoever it is, as Meg was saying, you know, they're not looking at it to hand it to the bikini streamer in the hot tub. I'm sorry. And most of the girls in the gaming space, there's a lot of them. I mean, Chad rails about how Twitch turned into softcore porn, you know.
Nice, still
one
stand
point
by
in
that.
time, and then they started to do some kind of combat with it. Then it went back, and then it went back, and then it went back. It was like a back and forth tug of war here of their softcore porn.
No, and the thing is, they're just
like,
cover for it. That's all they do.
But sure, there are women on there who are respectable, who wear, decently clothed and all that stuff. They don't have the camera underneath their clear plastic chair in a bikini or their panties or whatever, or they're not sitting there having the gameplay of Fortnite on their green bra or something like that.
No, what would be hilarious is, no, hear me out. They do that clear plastic, they got like a bikini bottom that's green. And then all of a sudden you see on their bottom, Raid Shadow Legends.
I mean, that would be hilarious. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
it's like they have a splash promo for Raid Shadow Legends. Just every,
I would die
30
laughing
minutes,
if somebody did that.
It just comes across the screen like at an angle or something. It's like, Raid Shadow Legends, download now.
I'm sorry, like I
think I would actually go to watch that just for the hilarity of it one time.
Right.
But no, those kinds of streams aren't exactly got sponsors banging on the door for those.
But see, if you broaden the context, they don't want to hear that, because once you broaden that context to money earned, that gap's going to be there, but it's going to be 100% flipped.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why they say in sponsored content earnings.
Yeah, they narrowed that down because
I mean, that's usually how these things go, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's
they come to the conclusion first and then go.
It's like when they did the gender pay gap the first time in 2016 or 15 or whenever it was. It's like men make 75 or women make 75 cents on every man's dollar or some bullshit like that, and it's like, yeah, and you haven't taken into account anything at all, like
how many hours worked, how many days taken off, et cetera.
I have worked with women who have more experience in my field at the time, and guess what? They made fucking more than me. They've been doing it for several years longer than I have, so I expect them to make more. I'm not going to cry about it that she's making $3 more than me. Yeah, well, you also just got here, scrub, and you're learning the thing. So
let me tell you this story real quick. This is a story from a security firm I worked for years ago. We were on the contract, and we made varying amounts based on experience, all that stuff. Well, this new girl comes in. She's been there not even a month. Finds out she's making $1 less than everybody there. She's never worked security. So
I'm surprised she's only making $1 less. Somebody was generous.
Right. Well, so here's the thing. So she makes a stink because she thinks she's going to get a pay bump. No, security firms are assholes. What they did was they reduced everybody's pay down to her wage. My boss had to take us aside because our account manager was too much of a pussy to tell us himself. So our supervisor had to take us aside, everybody, and he was an old bastard. I love Tom. Tom was great. He said, "Well, guys, due to somebody, he did this. So say Meg is the girl that complained. Sorry, Meg.
No,
Tom's
the only girl here.
Okay, I'll do Zio. Zio, you're the girl that complained.
Chad.
Tom went during the meeting and said, "Sorry, guys, but due to somebody complaining, all of our pay is now standardized to her pay rate." We all looked at her and we were like, "Oh, you better fucking quit today." I'm amazed her tires didn't get slashed. I am shocked.
Oh, I would be so pissed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would be
No,
raising Cain.
I was especially pissed. I actually took her aside and said, "Because of you, I might fucking lose my apartment. I want you to know you can go straight to hell." I said that right to her. Because I was barely making it at the time. I was barely making at the time. I
I'm
was a shift lead that went back to a security guard. It's a long story. I lost $2 that day. $2
I concur with Chad that
so
the security firms are assholes. I got people who work. I know people who directly work with them, and I've worked with them myself. So they're dicks.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so the gender payment gap is back, and the Borderlands film director blames the flop on Zoom and COVID.
No.
Okay, sure.
The fuck is this Zoom?
Zoom is corporate Discord.
Oh, that Zoom. Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know how Zoom is.
Yeah, I don't either. But anyway,
like that's a new program that's out, right? I was doing Thanksgiving, and it's the kind of thing we're like, wow, this is the first time I'm going to see a movie sort of being like, okay, I directed this. What happened? That was kind of an experience, like, never had that before. Oh my gosh, does he speak the English? Like, what the heck is that sentence that I read?
Oh, butchered.
Ugh.
That's a quote, so I'm not blaming the
English.
I was sitting there like, am I reading these words correctly? But
yeah,
I think
it took me a second to realize you were reading them, and then I was like,
yeah, I didn't know you were.
I thought you were doing a Valley Girl
I was sitting
thing.
there wondering where the quotes were, and I hadn't found it yet.
It says, and I remember being, am I at the point of my career where I'm going to sit down to watch my own movie that says I wrote and directed it, and I really genuinely don't know what's going to happen?
That's not a good sign.
Bro, okay, so you wrote this movie? Okay, reading your quotes, that explains why it failed. Like, these sentences were so hard to read. I read everything in video games. I read all the time. This is pain. This is just, no. Nobody should talk like this normally.
I was like, this is Valley Girl speech.
It is.
The director said he has plenty of respect for those who worked on the film. And said he would still work with Lionsgate again, but not under those circumstances. So what was the circumstances anyway?
He's blaming COVID.
They were shooting during COVID.
I think they were shooting during COVID and all that.
Why did it fail? Roth believes the circumstances was such as COVID certainly didn't do the teams any favor.
I mean, I'm not going to begrudge him for that because I'm sure I agree with that. Like, COVID made things hard.
Yeah. COVID sucked because especially when it came to a lot of places, they did do the whole we're going to lock you down for 15 months type thing. And then they're going to cancel things like movies, and they're going to fill skate parks with sand and shit like that for some odd reason.
Arrest people for being on the beach by themselves.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So it was pretty bad for a lot of places, except for here, where we continued working like nothing really happened.
Same in Ohio. Like, like the funny thing is, they tried to throw that on us, and we were like, okay.
Well, they did the same thing to us too, because they wrote like multiple articles about how my county was going to kill the entire state, because we just refused to do what we were told to do.
Dude, I love it because all the pansies here in Ohio were like huddled in their corners at their houses.
You could tell the pandemic was still in effect because all the corporate shit did follow everything. Yeah. So Walmart stopped being open at like 7 p.m. and shit like that, which was really a painful thing for me.
Oh,
I would go to work and nothing would be open, and then I would leave work, and the only places to get shit would be closed because they were corporate shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Already.
No, it happened to me too.
But it was rough, but also let's not kid ourselves. The movie sucked ass.
Yeah.
It came out last year, guys. That's 2024.
Did not make sense. The characters that they had in there made no sense. None of it made fucking sense at all. And it was like a literal somebody took somebody got one of the Borderlands games or something, or I don't know. They were just told they were going to do Borderlands, and then they looked up the wiki and was like, that character, that character, that character, that character, that character. All right, we're going to throw them in here
and miscast them all.
One of the games. Let's kind of get the tone down. And
Tiny Tina was okay. Tiny Tina was all right. I think that was the only one I would say. Yeah, that was okay casting. Roland was supposed to be way more stoic, and I don't blame. Was that Kevin Hart? I think.
Yep.
I don't blame Kevin Hart.
Hart's actually a good actor, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was just miscast for this.
That was the problem, is a lot of it was miscast, and I still want to love Claptrap because Claptrap's my favorite. But
yeah. Who did they get?
The game itself, but the movie itself was just bad.
No, that's bad casting. And again, I don't blame the cast because except for who they got for what's the name?
It feels like they just grabbed a bunch of decently big names at one point in time and just threw them in here.
Yeah.
And nobody knew what they were doing with the character they were casted.
Yeah.
But I still like Claptrap because, it's hard to miscast Claptrap.
And yet
they got Jack Black. So
the thing is that I think that people in Hollywood are still under the impression that audiences will go to movies to see an actor, and that's not necessarily the case anymore. Like
it hasn't been for years and years. It hasn't been.
I think it depends on the actor.
Well, no, I'm not saying that the actor doesn't mean anything, but the actor only adds points. It's not a definite gonna go see because actor in movie.
What it is I think it depends on what it is and who the actor is. Like if they took, gosh, what the hell is his name from Keanu Reeves? They put Keanu Reeves in something, I'm gonna fucking watch it. Okay, that and Ryan Reynolds, I will watch that no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what. For the most part, I'm gonna watch it if it's Ryan Reynolds or Keanu Reeves, right?
To be fair, Keanu Reeves, but here's the thing: I trust Keanu Reeves to turn down roles.
Yeah, but they're also not like taking Keanu Reeves and sticking him in the role as Tiny Tina, right? Because if they had done something like that, then I'd be like, guys, I'm sure he's going to make a fine Tiny Tina, but that's not who I would expect to be in that role. You know what I mean?
Wait. After watching,
you just used the Keanu.
What's that
Keanu's
movie?
Great.
Jeez, what's the movie he's in where he's like the assassin? Shit. Why can't I think of that Keanu Reeves movie? What?
Are you talking about John Wick?
John Wick. Yeah, I could imagine John Wick as Tiny Tina just wearing the bunny ears and being like, "Okay, motherfuckers." Thank you, Sifu. Here's the thing. Like,
it's
Keanu.
Most part, it's just like it's bad casting.
Yeah.
And there's normies will go see for people. The problem is
what
they
people
didn't pick people to go see it because they're making a movie for a game that has an older audience. So naturally, they did pick older actors for the most part.
Kate Blanchett has been big since when?
But, because you've got, like, Kevin Hart in there, and what's her face?
Who's notoriously funny and tiny.
That one there.
Yeah, and
because a lot of people seem to know who she is, even though I have no idea who she is.
She played Galadriel in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That's all I know her from. I know that I recognize the name. I just don't watch her. Her movies are not my thing.
I recognize her face, but I have no idea who she is.
Well, see, here's the thing. Rose was supposed to be young. She does not look young.
Yeah,
no.
That's the problem. It's a miscast.
Yeah, and Jamie Lee Curtis.
I like Kevin Hart in a lot of things, but I don't think he should have been in this movie at all.
No, because Roland was a big, imposing mercenary that was extremely stoic to the point where he lost Lilith.
Yeah, this was miscast, but again, I don't think that the era of the superstar is such a thing that you sacrifice the story or the characters for the sake of a cast.
Yeah, and that's I think that's what we're all saying though. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, I don't know.
That's exactly where these movies are right now, which is why you've got Jack Black in absolutely everything. Like, apparently Jack Black's in this movie. I'm not sure where.
He's Claptrap.
Is he Oh, is he the voice of Claptrap? That's probably why I like Claptrap then.
Here's the thing. I like Jack Black.
I like Jack Black.
I don't.
He's fun.
I mean, I don't go out of my way to watch Jack Black, but I do enjoy when he's
therein is the thing. Like, here's the thing. I don't think it was good casting for him in Minecraft. But because and here's the thing. People went to see Minecraft not because of Jack Black. They went to see it because it's Minecraft.
Yeah.
They went to see it because it became a meme. It's the new tripod.
It did meme itself into existence for the most part.
Yeah. Them going crazy over chicken jockey, just someone saying chicken jockey doesn't make people go crazy. They've decided that this is the thing that they're going to do. And everybody gets in on it, and that's how they have fun.
But, you had, what's his name? Was he, what's the one guy? Is he Aquaman?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, they had Jason Momoa in there and Jack Black, which are both right now decently big names in Hollywood. In that, they also had Jack Black in Mario, and
which I thought was miscast. I thought he was annoying, but
he was okay as Bowser.
Yeah,
he existed. I didn't like him. I didn't think he was funny.
Like outstanding. I did enjoy the Mario movie for what it was.
Yeah.
But I never really got over the idea of Jack Black being Bowser. It was weird.
I didn't. You know what? I didn't even notice that it was Jack Black because I wasn't paying that much attention to it. I was too busy
I knew about it ahead of time, which is probably the only reason. Because for the most part, I don't know who any of the people are who voice any of those other characters.
No, I'll tell you this.
Except for Bowser.
I'll tell you this. The guy that did Donkey Kong, he did an okay job.
Seth Rogen
did okay. There could have been so many people that did better.
Did Seth Rogen do Donkey Kong? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the most part when it comes to creative films. I don't know, and the only reason I know Jack Black was Bowser is because of everything that preceded and happened after the fact, revolving around Jack Black and Bowser.
I'm agreeing with Sifu on this.
He is the voice. I didn't even know Seth Rogen was doing Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I agree with Sifu. I take Jack Black as Bowser well before Seth Rogen's Donkey. Because that's the thing. Seth Rogen even said, "I'm not changing my voice." So it's lucky it kind of fits Donkey Kong.
I don't know. Does Donkey Kong have that much of a personality that can be ruined? That's the thing about the Mario movie. These characters are kind of blank slates.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong is one of those voiceless brutes, I guess. But he's also kind of dorky.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm going to... I'm the obscure
be honest,
guy. I actually
Seth
watched
Rogen,
the Donkey Kong show.
If Seth Rogen was a muscle man...
It was hilarious.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Here's the thing: Seth Rogen did good as Donkey Kong if you saw the cartoon. But
that is true.
But that was
I forgot about the cartoon.
Is basically that he happened to fit that role, not that he tried to fit that role.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't going to make an effort if they were like, yeah, that's fine.
Well,
someone who's that uncooperative and that full of themselves should probably never work again. I didn't mind Donkey Kong in the movie, and then I found out it was Seth Rogen, and I liked him less because I hate Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I can't stand Seth Rogen, but I'll be honest with you, I'm with Sifu on this. I've
actually learned something recently that there's a lot of voice actors out there, the modern day voice actors, who don't change their voice for the most part.
Well, typically your vocal cords can only.
But they're not going to announce that.
Yeah, I know, but I've just sort of noticed it because of the SAG-AFTRA thingy and Genshin Impact and stuff. And these people are making TikToks and Instagram reels and all this other shit, crying like the little bitches that they are about shit because they like to instigate stuff. And they're like, "Oh, woe is me." They have the same voice as everything that they have voiced up to that point in those as their regular voice.
Can I point something out?
It dawned on me that a lot of these voice actors are nowhere near as talented as the people who came before them who could do 15 different voices. They do one voice.
I want to point
one voice only.
I want to point something out. I want to sidetrack for 1 second, but it'll be well worth it. Twitch 1. That's probably Zio. YouTube 0.
Yeah.
And then Rumble with the 5 viewers. You guys are awesome. I'm going to say that right now. Rumble W.
Yeah.
W's in the chat.
There's somebody who watches me on Twitch. I don't know who it is, but they always watch. So, because I don't even have Twitch up.
We salute you, sir.
No, I would say it'd be me, but I don't have it up, so I can't be the one.
So when it comes to
and they come in slightly late too.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, whoever's on Twitch watching,
0,
come
and
to
then
Rumble.
Twitch will come in about 10 minutes later. There'll be somebody watching from Twitch. I don't know who you are, but you're amazing. Come on over to Rumble. It's nice. We have cookies.
We have a bunch of people here.
And if you really want pancakes, I can make you pancakes with Chad's help.
I got some great maple syrup.
Oh,
but when it comes to voice actors, a lot of times they don't necessarily change their voice, but they're acting. You know, it's like saying, as an actor who acts in front of a camera, they don't necessarily change their face. They change their facial expression. So you change your vocal expression. You don't necessarily do the funny voices. And it's not always called upon because, I mean, you're talking about like Mel Blanc, who was the man of like 7 million voices, but he was playing like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. He wouldn't have used voices that were that goofy if he's playing actual people who are supposed to be taken a little bit more seriously. So that would be my point when it comes to
even then, I've seen older voice actors who've done like interviews and talked about stuff and things like that. And they do have quite a wide range. It's like you find out that this one guy played the voice of 5 different people on the show, and they're all human people. They're not like Daffy Duck or anything. They're actual people, and you're just like, holy shit, you voiced all of those? I had no idea.
Anyway.
So the partner spotlight sale is here. Save a dazzling selection of hundreds of Nintendo Switch games. Chad, what the fuck is this?
Nintendo does not do sales. This is unprecedented.
I'm excited. There's a sale on stuff?
Okay, first off, Nintendo does do sales occasionally because I have a Switch and I do see them. But
they exist.
But you do have to be like part of their partner thingy, right? And the sales aren't really that great. It's like $5 off here, maybe $2 here, and so on and so forth. They're poor. They're bad sales. They're not like Steam. But
up to 50% off.
This is a good discount. This does not normally happen on a Nintendo.
Which makes you wonder, are they afraid of the backlash? Because this was announced after the backlash of the Switch 2.
I don't think I've seen deep sales on Nintendo like that before.
Right?
Especially not on
shopping, y'all.
I'm sorry. Mario 75%. That's a Nintendo first party game. They never hit. They know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
holy are there any mores on this list that are?
The reason I pointed this out was because Nintendo does not put their first parties on sale like this. It's always like the third party yeah. So
that looks cute,
but it's not really that deep either. Like, I'm surprised these. I might have to boot up my thing and look at. No, I'm not going to.
Well, what I'm saying is,
if I can get it on the PC, I rather.
This was announced after the backlash of the Switch 2, and it makes me wonder, as much bluster and front that Nintendo puts up, are they nervous?
They should. See, Nintendo, of course, is one of those companies like they're going to sell out, right? Because it's Nintendo, but if they continue down the road of Disney, they will eventually fill it.
Wait, Switch will include weapon repairs, but in the most Nintendo way. What is that?
I did a bite-sized news segment on this.
I watched it. I showed it to Joe.
I missed that one. Dang it! What is it?
Nintendo has decided that both of their Zelda games on the Switch, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, are now going down the live service manhole.
Oh no! Wait, you have to like pay for it or something?
No, you don't have to pay for it. However, they're going to be offering this new thing Where is it? It's like Zelda's Notes or something. Here it is. We'll need to rely on Zelda's Notes app feature, a random luck for their equipment repairs. So they're adding equipment repairs, right? Now, this is a thing. Where is it? Nintendo Treehouse.
I think so too, Sifu.
Revealed more potential.
Like, don't hate us.
Include an equipment repair. Yeah, reveals even more potential daily bonus rewards, including an equipment repair bonus that applies to bows, melee weapons, and shields. That means you can keep using it if you're lucky. Yes, luck will be involved in snagging equipment repairs through Zelda's Notes, the daily bonus option. So you've got to log in daily if you want this. By the way,
you have to have the app.
Offers just one roulette wheel spin or style spin every 24 hours, and it appears that has 12 potential rewards available during each spin. So actually landing on the equipment repair bonus seems rare unless players figure out an exploit.
Yeah, mods.
Yeah.
By the way, because I'm almost positive they said that you had to have the Nintendo app to even do
no,
this?
I think the app itself is built into the Sheikah Slate, right?
Oh, is it?
I didn't look at it, but apparently there's video of it somewhere.
Okay.
But you sent me this.
Yeah, I sent you this because I was
wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
No, it's a fully fledged Diablo experience on mobile, which everybody will get to play, and hopefully.
I remember that because you know what? It was an April Fool's joke several years prior.
So let me put this because they. By the way, this isn't just for Zelda. Nintendo is pushing their app on the cell phone for a bunch of things on the Switch too, and I'm like, no, nobody wants that at all, ever.
But yeah, so they're going down the route of turning it into a live service with daily spins. Let me see if I can actually bring that up.
I'm sorry, Meg.
Zelda Notes app.
I am the sad. I mean,
I know. I just
you know what would make it better is if it was an actual app that you have to link.
To be fair, though, it makes it so that I don't want to. I don't need to purchase it.
So we're going to switch now into Tears of the Kingdom, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. I'm standing here on the Great Island.
I don't
start with.
Because she made poor life choices.
So if we look at the app screen, this is
she's saying that she is a poor life choice.
The Switch app. So we see navigation
Told you?
in the middle there.
It is a fucking app.
I told you.
That and open it up. We're down in the depths. So I'm going to hop down there. So this is basically like your own personal Hyrule GPS. Mm-hmm. So we got.
It was in the game. It didn't need to be an app.
Just here, you see, you got
so many.
There's a ton. We got locations here. We got shrines, towers, villages, buildings,
right?
All kinds of stuff. What we're interested in right
now.
That
way they can sue you later.
We decided we were going to go on a frox hunting expedition here. So we've got froxes selected here.
Go frox yourself.
What it's going to do is it's going to.
I just sent that to the app, and now it should show up there. Easy
Refresh
peasy.
It here. There it is in the upper right-hand corner of the.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get on this and jump over.
Fly to your destination.
Here we go.
And we.
Also, like what is that?
Yes.
Well,
I mean, you know what that is. You know.
I was thinking about a flying machine, and I was like, "What?"
I've seen it.
What flies?
Just do what everybody else does. Make the aerial scooter. It's not hard. That's how you know these guys aren't really about this. Because
Nintendo, did you really pull the don't you have phones bullshit?
Now you know why I posted it.
Anyway. PlayStation Plus price increase.
I did not like about Tears of the Kingdom. I don't like building stuff, guys. I just don't. It's not my thing, okay? I want to just run around and hit things with a sword. That's why I buy Zelda.
You're not allowed
You can't do it. That's just something you can do in Tears of the Kingdom.
No, you had to do it. Really,
listen, I'm just saying, if you want to emulate anything Nintendo, I will definitely never, try to dissuade you
Right.
From doing that, especially if you want to,
don't
I don't
share
know, mod
the damn
Tears of the
websites, you
Kingdom.
dumbasses.
Mod Tears of the Kingdom and put in unbreakable weapons. Because that's what I fucking do. So, but I also own the games.
What's
anyway.
PlayStation doing? Is PlayStation doing a hold my beer sort of thing?
But PlayStation decided to say Nintendo. We can do
right,
better.
Sifu? Sifu's on my side.
Here, I don't like building stuff. I know you guys go do stuff. We'll build all the cool stuff at home.
Right.
You guys can just come and play with it afterwards.
I'll just build the battle tank that ends
I'll
the
build
hopes
the
and
fortress.
dreams of Ganon.
I don't want to build it. I want to use it. Okay, look, I want to go out and do the things. I don't want to sit at home and ratchet it together. It sounds boring.
But yeah, PlayStation is raising its prices in various regions. By the way,
by a lot.
And Nintendo did the same thing. They raised the price of the Nintendo Switch in I think 3 regions right now. US isn't affected yet. And
it's all about
PlayStation is doing it too in similar regions.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Oh, okay, Zia, continue. Okay, or not. Okay. So anyway, PlayStation Plus was like, oh, Nintendo's raising prices. now's our time to shine.
I love how it says at the bottom, play has no limits. I'm like, well, unless you don't have the money.
Right. Apparently, the limit is $213.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here. I just had a disability.
No, you're good. You're good.
Wait, how much is that? How much is it right now? Because that's AUD. I don't know what that dollar conversion rate is.
The didgeridoos, I don't know. Conversion
plus
rate,
deluxe right now in the US, I think it's like $189 for a year.
In Australia?
No,
in the US. That's US dollars. $240.95 AUD to USD. That's $137 USD. Damn, that's cheaper.
Yeah, but I think that's not the same PlayStation Plus.
No, here it's not 180 something. It's like 112, isn't it? Or 16?
I just did a conversion on the good old internets.
No. I'm saying, what does it cost us now?
Oh, what it costs now is like 180 something.
No, it doesn't. That's too high.
I know.
PlayStation Plus.
Keep in mind, this is Plus Deluxe, Meg.
Oh.
Yeah, PlayStation Plus itself is like 75, I think. The Deluxe, which is like the 3rd tier, is the big one.
It should have led with the cheapest one.
Price. I'm sorry. It's 119 in the US. My bad.
See, I told you.
Yeah. My bad. I was thinking something else then, I guess.
You were thinking something else. I was like, no, I just bought that for my nephew last year.
So I know what the base one is. But I wasn't 100% sure what the Deluxe was in the US. It's 119. So it's racing to 137 USD over there.
It's raising to me not buying it.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. PlayStation Plus Deluxe is the thing to have, too. Because that's the only way you can access the old library of games. And
I don't want to access their old library.
I hate that. This is why I like Game Pass so fucking much. Because for Game Pass, for a lot less, I could get a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, I already have access to a lot of the old games, so,
Yeah, I know. That's my thing. I'm just like, look, I don't want to rent your games. I don't want to Netflix your games. That irritates me. I will purchase the game if I want it, and if I don't, then I won't.
If you want access to the decent current stuff or whatnot, you have to have the 2nd tier. But if you want the classic library that they have,
what was it? Veilguard.
So Veilguard is, I think, available with the 2nd tier. Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Which is funny because every time I get on the PlayStation and go into the store just to look, it's like one of the first things that continues to splash up on my screen. Play Vanguard
yeah, they're like,
now
please play it.
with the PlayStation Plus membership, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, I'm still not going to download it. It's not going to help. I don't care if you shove it in my face every time. It's not happening. Anyway, they just found Wizards of the Coast, or Wizards TOS allows Wizards to steal your stuff. Really? What? Again?
Yep.
Again with this?
Again.
We're doing this shit again? Blizzard. Or Wizards. Sorry. Wrong company. Same thing, though, because Blizzard tried to do it, too, with StarCraft maps.
Yeah. And they killed that, by the way, because the moment they announced that, Blizzard announced that, nobody made maps for StarCraft 2. It was dead.
StarCraft 2 is struggling. Like, it is struggling hardcore.
Yeah, it's a shitty game.
So, anyway, and owns anything you can create and submit on D&D Beyond or for D&D, Magic, or any other games. This includes homebrew rule characters, blah, blah, blah.
That's right,
Sifu. Went with this again. I don't bother with Nintendo's gaming Netflix stuff. I have perfectly good emulate cartridges. Originals. Yeah, me too. Me too.
3. I have a lot of original hardware.
All right, so I'm gonna have to check out the D&D side and see what's going on over there if anyone's noticed. But yeah, they did they did their URL or whatever it was. Geez, what was it? It was maybe a year or two ago where they tried doing this shit.
Yeah.
And then everybody was just like, okay, we're done. They stopped putting D&D on the stuff. All the sites that were dedicated to this stuff started removing D&D markers and everything, and changing their stuff to this is tabletop stuff. So D&D couldn't claim it as theirs.
Yep. And they're trying to do it now again. And I think this is going to be the nail in the coffin because Wizard of the Coast is not doing good.
No, they're not.
They needed to not have this bad press.
Like right now, the only thing that's been keeping them afloat is the D&D movie itself, which I started watching.
Are we talking about the Wayans Brothers one?
I started watching it. By the way, I have yet to get halfway through it, but apparently it was good enough for the normies that it was the only thing keeping them alive right now.
It was okay. It was.
Wait, what?
The D&D movie
with the Wayans brothers.
I have no idea who the Wayans brothers are, but the recent D&D movie
with Chris Pine and
we've talked about it.
The Angry Trick. I went and saw it with my husband, and that's when I realized that all those Forgotten Realms books that I used to read as a kid that I thought were like pretty high fantasy, yeah, they're all based on freaking Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, it's you're muted, Chad. It reminds me of there was a quote from the movie 27 Dresses where she says it's like finding out that your favorite love song is about a sandwich. That's what it felt like finding out that all my favorite fantasy novels were based off of Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, ugh.
Well, yes,
I was watching
Dungeons and Dragons is great, and you should play BG3.
Yes, agreed. We need a fourth. You could be the fourth.
BG3 looks unappealing to me entirely. It just does. Wow.
By the way, he crashed. I crashed a second ago.
Oh, okay.
So
every time.
Yeah, every time. Right about 10. Yep.
Don't know why. It is Rumble at this point because it's the only thing that does it right around the 10 mark.
But
every time.
No, see, here's the thing. I know Meg would like Baldur's Gate 3, but I also know that because it's popular and she's contrarian.
Yes.
No, it's not because it's popular and I'm contrarian.
Will come.
I say contrarily.
And Chad, if I can remember, the fireball will come twice at the same time when I twin cast it.
Oh, I'm still mad about the whole dual wielding two-handed things and Path of Exile 2 not being possible.
Is that officially out yet?
Yeah. Or no, it's not officially out.
No, it's still in beta.
Beta, and it's still not complete.
Yeah. My thing is, that's
movie.
why I'm waiting. That's why I'm in a
I
holding
started
pattern.
watching it, eating dinner one night. And then I guess I forgot I was watching it because I just remembered I started watching it.
Wow, that's bad.
But this movie did pretty decent numbers. That's the thing.
It was
I'm
okay.
surprised it didn't hold my attention that I had to sit here and watch it till the end.
Okay.
But it is what it is.
It was very, very okay. But the thing is that there just hasn't been a decent fantasy adventure movie out in quite a while. And so it was just fun. It was something different. It didn't offend you over much. So, it's all right. It existed.
Yeah.
It was
Except unless you were one of those sad people who were reading all those Forgotten Realms books and then slowly coming to the realization that your favorite books are based off of this stupid game. But anyway. It's fine. I'm over it. It's okay.
You are not over it. Not even.
I'm not. It's like when I discovered that my name isn't actually my name.
Alrighty then.
So
I didn't learn my real name until kindergarten.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family called me by my nickname, and they're calling out this chick, and I'm like, I wonder who that is. She sure should answer. And they call everybody. They never call on me, and then finally, they call me up to the front of the room, and they're like, "What's your name?" And I tell them what I think my name is, and they're like, "No." And I was like, "Oh!" So yeah, I had an existential crisis at 5 years old. Yeah,
nice.
Well, speaking of existential crises.
I didn't know who I was. I came home. I was like, "That's not my name." So yeah,
you lied. No. So yeah, Power World 2 by type thing 1 and thing 2 is going. Looks like it might go by the wayside. Essentially, a lot of people are calling for them to bring back male and female. Honestly, if you see the way the character creation is in Power World, they honestly they need to improve the character creation because it is horrendous.
Well, I don't think character creation was going to ever be their strong suit. So
I know, but
the fact that it has any kind of character creation,
it's better than Pokemon Go, right?
Yeah. It is. But no, there's not much to this. It's just there's a huge outcry for them to bring male female instead of type 1 type 2.
Yeah, I got into a back and forth with this guy.
Male, female, or 1, 2. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, sir, whoever you are. It is annoying that you're referring to my body type as type 2. It is annoying because that's not what it is. If I go to the doctor, they don't say, are you male or female, or do they say, are you thing 1 or thing 2? They say, are you male or female? Because those are things that actually exist. Stop pretending like this is something that's arbitrary. No, you're talking about the way that we relate to people and humanity and reality. Stop it. It's irritating.
I used an example because when Monster Hunter World actually launched, there was somebody on the forums and they were trying to ask for help to fix. Did we lose her? Yep, there we go.
It was her turn.
So there was somebody on the forums trying to fix their character because they were referring to her as a she, right?
Yeah.
But they wanted it to refer to him as a he. And they couldn't figure out how to fix that, so they were asking if there was an option anywhere for pronouns. Now, this got mixed reception as a thing because some people thought that they were calling for pronouns to be in Monster Hunter Worlds, which was not the case. What simply happened is the guy had accidentally chosen the wrong body type.
No, you don't. We're annoying.
The guy had chosen the wrong body type when they were in the character creator.
Gotcha.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so I had used that as an example because it was the most recent one, right? Because this guy is going off like nobody's confused by this kind of bullshit. And I was like, well, they are. And we're living in an era where Western devs make everything so androgynous that it's very easy to confuse these two unless they have a character creator that lets you strip down all the armor and stuff off of the character to actually tell, oh, those are tits. Or or the underwear is actually placed on the body to know, okay, well, that's got two things on it, so that's clearly a female, while that one's a male because it's just got the bottoms on.
Yeah. Also, I want to point this out: Power World's male armor is not. It is not male.
But anyway, in Monster Hunter World, this is an interesting thing because it's very easy to confuse the two body types if you're not used to the body type phenomenon. Now, for us as a gamer, we see 1 and 2 and we know, okay, so male is number 1 because women are number 2 always, right? That's always how it is, And you could always make a feminist outcry over that. Just saying, there's an argument there to be had that women should not always be number 2. But
I mean, men were created first, but men don't get here unless women birth you. So there is that. So
exactly,
chicken egg sort of question.
So as far as the Wild, feminist,
the armor,
really him. You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
The default armor for male and female look identical 100% with the exception of the hood. The hood for the female model, or for type 2, which is the female one, is down, while the hood on the other on type 1, the male, is up, right? And and if you don't actually dive into the character creator and realize you can remove that armor and actually change like the color of your underwear and all that other shit, you're not going to know which one is which. So I guarantee that this poor sod was playing the beta, right, with the rest of us, looked at 1 and 2 and saw, oh, I prefer the hood down. Which then means when he loaded up Monster Hunter for the first time and actually started playing the campaign and stuff, they kept referring to him as a her the whole time. Instead of the guy he thought he was playing, because he didn't actually dive into the character creator. Because
don't you have voice
get
options?
Because I'm one of those people who don't really all the time dive into the character creator. It's like game specific for me. If I'm playing like the Elder Scrolls or something, I very rarely will touch the character creator. I might touch like scale color or something, give my guys spikes instead of feathers because I think it looks better, but for the most part that's about as far as deep as I will go into its expansive customized creation character. Meanwhile, on other games I might actually pay it a little bit more attention, like Baldur's Gate 3, because I'm always looking at that character. But so I can understand people who don't want or don't really interact with those settings much. It's just looking at it's like hood up, hood down. I prefer hood down. And then having an issue because there was nowhere to pick their pronouns, especially if they're maybe under the mindset of something like, what's Starfield or something, where that was an option at some point, right? And expecting something like that. They don't really understand the difference between 1 and 2 because they're not like a hardcore gamer or a gamer TM or anything. They're just, you're casual who never really has to make those choices. But anyway. Yeah, so there's a back and forth going on with this right now, and I hope it finally goes back to male and female. Anybody?
I'm sorry, I was mid yawn. It's one of those yawns where you're like
just absent over there.
It takes a minute to go through, and if you
I was muted. Kiss my ass.
Oh, is that what was happening? You were muted.
Yeah, because I have to switch to OBS's mic to play the sound effects. But yeah, no, there's not much to this. It's just, like I said, people are going back and forth on it. We'll see what we'll see. But I really hope that they also, if they do go back to that, I also hope that they figure out their lives and actually make a character that's worth a damn and actual male armor instead of female other female armor for the male characters. Because I love having a midriff as a dude.
I love you having a midriff as a dude too. It's great.
By the way, when you said you use Baldur's Gate, you look at the character. I was like, let's be real, Zio. You're looking at my character.
Shh. Nobody has to know.
I know Meg was shocked when she joined.
Speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, the industry is desperate for you to not expect games to be on par with BG3.
No, I expect them to be better.
But apparently, former BioWare producer says Baldur's Gate 3 impact on game devs will be somewhat muted thanks to the industry convention. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is those words correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can't help but think we got it all backwards. Well, I don't quite understand that, the way it's put.
Essentially, the devs...
When I see convention, I think people getting together for a hobby.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
This is industry convention.
Or common.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that makes more sense. It won't be industry standard. Makes more sense.
Well, this is another word, Zio. There's multiple words that can mean the same thing.
Well, I don't use convention like some pompous idiot, okay? To use as standard. It threw me off. That is not in my normal repertoire.
Anyway.
So BioWare the BioWare dev is making the case that we should not expect BG3 to be the standard.
Oh no, it is.
And
he
in
can
my
not
mind,
run
it should be. You've got great storytelling, great
storytelling,
great
gameplay.
It looks good. I mean, you don't have to be like, well, it's got to be the graphical standard. No, but there's been a lot of work into it. It wasn't even a full price game at $70.
That's not full price.
So it wasn't.
He's saying it wasn't 70.
It wasn't 70. Sorry.
Oh. See, he said it weird, like that. What was up above?
Exactly.
He wants to sound
look what it's doing to me now. Look what it's doing to me.
All right, journalist. Sorry, that was a low blow.
That hurt.
I don't understand what. Why is he trying to? I guess he's trying to kind of like set par. Are these guys like all in cahoots with each other? Like we had that other dev who was trying to like.
Oh yeah, they absolutely are, because after BG3 came out, they were saying the same thing. It's like, don't expect other things to be as great as this, and they make all these excuses like, not everybody's got a big team or lots of money and all this other stuff, and it's like,
and talent.
You guys put in like 15 times the amount of money and with a team 3 times as large. Don't give me that bullshit.
Right?
I mean, you're AAA fucking games, for crying out loud. Larry was not known for AAA titles.
No. Now it's quadruple A.
Oh yeah,
they don't get the full A games
over there. No, you guys should be on par with BG3, if not better, because you're AAA. And Larian was not a AAA studio by any stretch of the imagination, but they sure as hell made a AAA fucking game,
right?
If not a quadruple A game. As what was it? Skull and Bones wanted to put their game as.
Yeah.
The BG3 is the closest to a quadruple A game we have so far. But anyway, so they're continuously trying to set the stage, and he goes in about what it really did was put RPGs back on the map. And it's like, no. People have been asking for CRTV RPGs for a while now, but people like you at BioWare said, oh, those are old, that's old hat, that's 2002 talk. Everybody's into the action RPG, so why your Final Fantasy VII Remake is an action RPG now. with no time, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. Yeah, I'm still pissed off about that. By the way, it is a nice game. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm still pissed at the fact that they took away, the time team based whatever shit.
Turn based.
There we go. I can't think. I'm tired.
ATV, TB.
They took away that mechanic to make it action. Not everything has to be an action RPG, guys. We can have the old RPG formula and still do good. I mean, Chad's playing a remake of. Well, no, wait, never mind. That's an action one. Wrong game. Anyway,
no. Hold on. Star Ocean 2 is an action, but it's also turn based because you have time for like the spell users. They have to, and there's actually if you look in the background, there's a turn rotation.
Yeah. Well,
so it's just more actiony, but also there's other games like Chrono Trigger. That's still turn based with the remake, the upgraded graphics and stuff.
Yeah, but this thing was a while back.
Still,
but yeah, I mean, there's been a thirst for CRTVs or the RPGs,
turn-based RPGs. Yes,
yeah.
Zeo's
for
butchering
a while,
the
it's just
language
developers were like, "That's not the meta anymore. That's not the meta. We're not going to go back to it." So he tries to say that's why it was popular and stuff. And it's like, no, it's another thing that there's this elephant in the room that you guys refuse to look at. And until you guys figure out that you should look at the elephant and learn from it or something, and actually identify it and pay attention to it, you guys are going to continuously fail at this whole thing.
Okay, I got thinking about that. Why are they so dead set on not doing turn-based? Do you want to know why? I got a really good theory on this. When you have turn-based combat, the turn-based combat is not as much of a focus as
the story.
Exactly. They can't write to save their lives.
Oh yeah, that too.
So
I just
they
figured
try
it
to
was
cover it
gonna
up
be like,
with flashy action.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of the times, the flashy action isn't that great either.
I know.
I mean, that was one of the main
distracting
complaints about Dragon Age: The Veilguard was the combat was bland.
I thought that was the thing where they said the combat was, or no, maybe it was.
No, okay. So when it was releasing, the devs and stuff was gushing up the combat and things, and then people actually played it and they were like, "This is getting repetitive and boring." Because it's like smashing the same two buttons over and over again or something.
Okay.
And occasionally you may do something else, and you could put points in and unlock another thing, and it takes the place of this one, but you're still hitting the same button, and but yeah, people were complaining about how the combat was bland and boring and stuff. Meanwhile, you got things like other games that are action games where combat is good. So
definitely not Marathon.
You know what? The combat actually probably would be technically
I was
good.
actually about to say the combat probably will be good, but
yeah.
So
it's
anyway,
a Bungie game. They do gunplay pretty well, and
if you've ever listened to the devs talk about it or the engineers behind it, they fine tune that stuff down to the micrometer. I mean, it's amazing what they go into, which is, again, that's why I'm so pissed off about it, because of the fact that you can hear how much passion these people have, but it's about a very niche part of it, like how it reloads and how it clicks and all of these other kind of little bitty things that make it, you don't notice what your brain did, sort of things.
There was something that was cool. I forget what game it was, but like if you shot in the water, it made a different sound effect than if you shot into metal or shot into the dirt. I forget what game it was, but I was like, that's really cool. That's good attention to detail. But anyway, so
but if you have a story that's garbage, or you have a concept that's terrible, or an art direction that's off-putting and makes people's eyes bleed, it doesn't matter that you paid that much attention to detail. It's going to be lost, and it's sad.
Lost in the But anyway, what's next?
Lost in the suck.
That's it. We're at the end of the show, everybody.
Okay, let's play. How about we play one thing because we've been saving those up forever now.
All right, what are we playing?
Well, I don't know. You got to pick it out from the.
Oh, okay. You want to take a break and do a reaction?
Yeah.
All right.
Because we've been saving them up forever.
Jeez, we really have.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll play a couple of these, I guess. Wait, didn't we play that one?
We did play that one.
We played that one already.
Yeah.
Did we forget to delete it? Well, we deleted it this time.
Yeah.
All right, let's play another one.
Oh, this one, that's a good one.
Did we play this one already?
No, we did not. Trust me.
All right.
Only
same
human skull, and I can't have you ask any questions. Only if you also don't ask why. What? Okay, sure. Pulls out 7 pristine human skulls from their bag. Take your pick. Wizard, this one's 5. I am no killer. You just decapitated. I simply sent him to God. Yeah. That's still murder, bud. If God thought it unjust, then he would resurrect this man. Has that happened yet? No, which means I'm doing a good job. Hey, reanimating corpses for use in battle is unethical. I am recycling. Now someone has to go and fight the corpses. I am, also, consequently, creating jobs. A room called the Dull Room that's full of dolls is mundane, but a room called the Doll Room that only has 1 doll in it, that's fresh.
I'm wait, no.
Can't get enough of
Strong, beautiful lady. Woo!
What is the point of living? I like pizza. I want to eat more of it.
Hell yeah.
Good point. I like pizza too.
Me too.
All right, let's hit the delete button on that. Actually, make sure it's not in here. I guess we'll pull this one up.
Facebook.
I know.
Oh wait, there's a thing I can actually move back. What is this? I can't remember why this is in here.
I don't know. You're the one that posted it.
Oh my gosh! Apparently, I can't. I can't do things either. All right.
Unmute it, old man.
I did. What the hell happened?
You have to hit play first, then unmute.
Okay. No, apparently I have to hit the button in a specific, really low location for it to unmute it.
Okay.
Because just hitting the speaker was not enough. Okay. Technical difficulties aside.
Unmute it, old
fuck's
man.
sake.
Caesar's Pizza was... One man allegedly went too far when he was told his Little Caesar's Pizza was not hot and ready, pulling an AK-47 on employees and
What?
What?
Wait, what?
What?
This is fucking Little Caesars in Russia?
He went too far when he was told his Little Caesar's Pizza was not
Have a good night, Seafood.
Have a great night, Seafood.
Pulling an AK-47.
Do what?
Thea's about to turn into a pumpkin in like 7 minutes anyway.
Yeah, and I'll be doing a live stream for the night.
On employees and
He pulled out an AK-47 on employees.
What you mean my pizza ain't ready? Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been disappointed before.
On employees and
But no, it's not answering the real question here. Did he get it hot and ready?
I know. It doesn't actually answer that, does it?
It just makes you go, I don't think that's going to make it ready faster.
I mean, it might. If there's a gun to my head, I might be like, I might defy the thermodynamic, defy the laws of thermodynamics.
The marketing team deserves a raise.
Everyone's texting dirty pics.
Baby's named after produce.
Hi, Kale.
Robocall's up in the mix.
The world is out of sorts. We need to fix it quicker. We're gonna fix the world by feeding it Snickers.
So we're feeding the world of Snickers?
Yep.
Will it work?
Milk keeps getting reinvented.
Autocorrect is so demented.
Politics just makes us sick. Ew, yeah.
The surveillance state's got brand new tricks.
No, we don't.
Seriously.
We're not spying.
The world is so
Everything.
fix it quicker. We're gonna fix the world by feeding it Snickers. We're digging up.
Wait, what?
It's a huge dropping it right. Jumping is some things to do. So dumb if it works, we all win.
We're at the hole.
The Snickers hole. It's working.
That's good. All for that
So
ending.
it's working. That's great.
That's great. Can't get enough of the strong.
There's a
that
lot of
one's
these
good.
Pookie Doodles. You got on a Pookie Doodle kick, didn't you?
I did.
Got a really good idea for a D&D character I'll never get to use. It's a talking horse. You'd think this had come with some kind of magical backstory about getting turned into one, but turns out they were just born that way. You find out that the mother was a centaur, their father is a horse-headed minotaur, and they have a sister who's a perfectly normal human. They're a road thief because nobody expects a horse is the culprit. You're an orc guard in a fully garrisoned and protected fortress 2 miles into a mountain. You're standing post and suddenly you hear a knock outside the door. You know you're not authorized to move from your post, but your curiosity overtakes you and you open the door. A horse is standing there. As your brain races to think of some explanation for the sudden and unexpected presence of the horse, it leans in and whispers, "No one will ever believe you."
Yeah.
That's a good
That
one.
is actually a pretty good concept. Somebody needs to play it.
Right?
Oh. All right.
Got a sister who's perfectly normal. That's fantastic.
Oh.
No
All right,
one
see you,
will
Sifu. I must have missed it on your way out. Was watching things. But yeah, anyway, so that's going to be the end of the show tonight. We have this show every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time unless I died, which, happens once in a while. And then I come back magically. But, it's such as life. Is
So
anybody doing
necromancer
anything
trading
this
jobs.
week? Is anyone doing anything this week?
I am playing Kina, which my chat bullied me into. So apparently it's Souls-like, and they're watching, just anticipating me crying because I'm mediocre gamer girl. So yeah, I'm mediocre at best. I'm not supposed to be playing this game, honestly. But yeah.
Too.
So yeah. And Okami had a crappy camera too. I hated the camera in Okami. It was so butt. It was terrible. It is. It's bad. It's a bad camera. Like it doesn't snap correctly. Like, oh god. I'm not even gonna start on it. I have thoughts and feelings. They're all bad. But anyway, so yeah, I will be playing Okami, and my face will probably be like that the entire time. So
you got nice.
yeah, so I'll be playing not Okami. I'll be playing Kina on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. If you're one of those places in the middle, good luck to you. I believe in you. Yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna be, fighting and dying, and the chat will be laughing at me. Come join the fun.
And as for me, well, I'm going to be doing drugs.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I'll be playing Schedule 1 on Saturday. We were going to do the giveaway, but things kind of ran into a hiccup, so it'll be next week that we're going to do the giveaway. So that's going to be about $150 total in Steam cards.
Whoa.
We'll be giving away next Saturday. And
what time?
Yeah. And all of a sudden, everybody's like, I'm going to have to watch that stream.
I'm going to have to go check out Chad's stream.
Well, I mean, I didn't hear you say what time.
What the time will probably be, because I usually do on Saturdays like 5 p.m. around there.
Eastern time, I assume?
Eastern Standard Time.
Dude, you got to tell people when and where to find you.
Rumble here now. I'm in the description down below. I'm always on Rumble. I'm never on the other stuff because I'm too lazy, and I don't do softcore porn like Twitch. So,
listen, I'm going to get him in a hot tub stream eventually, guys. Just
no, I'll do it.
Special
I'll do it right now.
If you guys all follow, subscribe now at the 1,000 mark, Chad hot tub stream right here in my living room.
I am not. That's a 12-hour drive for me.
You'll figure it out.
Actually, no. I think you're actually more around an 8 to 10-hour drive. I think.
Yeah, it depends on which way you come.
Yeah, but anyway, so the plan is tonight we're going to do Phasmophobia after this. Unless Joe is just not feeling it, then I'm going to be doing some Star Ocean too. So that's kind of Saturday. We're going to be doing Schedule 1, and apparently there is way more to that game than I've seen. So I'm pretty much going in blind. Me and Joe are going to play that. I don't know if anybody else is joining us. I put it out there on the Discord. Nobody responded.
I responded.
Yeah, but yeah, you're going to be busy. So, but at least you did respond.
There's so many messages that happen on Discord, and by the time I finally check it, I'm like, ugh, there have been like 2 million. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. I mute every Discord except for Chad's, and then half of Chad's is muted. So
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I usually if I'm asking,
like,
I'm
I've
asking
got
people
the salt
in general.
mines muted, the self promo muted, the memes muted. All that stuff is all muted except for general chat.
I turn off the audio notifications because I think these apps should turn those off by default. Yeah. I don't need an audio ding every time somebody posts a message. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But I do like to have the notification so I see that there's something there. Unless it's like a video game Discord, then I'll check it whenever. But if it's like one of your all's Discords, I'll usually see if somebody posts in general. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing that because they got a new map in Phasmophobia. I was going to do VR, but I decided not to because it's just too much setup for right now. But I'm really looking forward to Schedule 1. We're going to be playing that for a long time, I think. And I would like to get, because you have 4 people, so I'd like to get that filled out. But again, I haven't heard from anybody other than Zio saying busy. So we'll see. And we also need a 4th for Boulder's Gate 4.
Bro, I am busy. Like, I have time for literally this. Because it's a holiday weekend, because it's Good Friday and everybody's off at work today.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. I know.
No, I really am busy. Like, tomorrow I have a funeral, and then there's Easter,
I'm talking
and then back to the mines of Moria.
Like, I'm not talking like I'm doing Boulder's Gate tomorrow. I'm talking in general. Like, we need a 4th for eventually.
No.
One day.
Let me know when it goes on sale. I will not pay full price, and I demand nobody pay full price for that game for me. But if it goes on sale, maybe I'll pick it up.
It's on sale now, I think.
Is it? Is it on a good sale? Like, I'm not talking like $2.
No. See, you said sale. You didn't say good sale.
That's true. And then I thought better of it because that's stupid.
So I am going to be on Dara's channel tomorrow for that thing. Other than that, we'll be back next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time right here.
Okay, yeah. 20% off.
How much is that?
It's $47 right now.
Ugh.
Well, guess what?
I feel like it increased in price at some point. But anyway.
Yeah, right?
It's
I thought it was I could have swore I paid like $40 for it.
It's $60.
But anyway. That's it for tonight. This, of course, is always happening every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Links for everybody is in the descriptions down below. And, I think that's it. So, say goodbye.
Bye. Happy Easter.